Hey, good people, how are you? Hopefully, you are doing well. So, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And so, today we are going to look at the things that you should never, mark the word never, you should never say to a man. And so, be attentive as you are doing this. And so, my people, our first point is of the statement that you shall never say to a man is the statement like, when are you coming to see my parents? Oh, come on, my girls. Even if you've fallen in love, up to what extent, be sure not to say this word. And there are so many other things that ladies like asking men in line with the same thing that I have just said, in line with the statement like, when are you coming to see my parents? For example, there are so many statements that are similar to that. Like, for example, babe, when am I seeing you again? Or the statement like, when shall I expect to hear from you? Once you tell a guy, like, when shall I expect to hear from you? He'll feel like you are desperate. Be sure not to ask him a statement like that. For example, like, when are you coming to see my grandmother? Can you hear that statement? It's not even making sense. My grandmother, of all people, my siblings, kindly don't ask a man a question like that. You know, these statements can make a man get bored with the relationship. He will get bored with you, being with you in that relationship, especially more so if the relationship has not advanced so much. Baby girls, that is if the relationship is in the early stages of getting to know each other. My people, honestly, men are scared of desperate women. Even if you are desperate, don't act as you are desperate. Be confident, and never show him that you are willing for him to go see your parents. Never present yourself as a desperate woman. Men, they usually treat desperate women or the needy women with little respect or even no respect at all. And so, I'm very sure there is no any lady out there that will like their men to treat them with no respect. And so, to avoid you being disrespected, my people, never ask a question like that. And ladies, this is the main point, and it is carrying the heaviest weight, and that is why it is my first point. And so, be sure not to ask a man such a question, because it is a complete turn off. It will turn him off. And if even maybe he was totally in love with you, that love will start fading away. Mark that with bold letters, you know. And if a man wants you, my girls, if a man really wants you, he will move heaven and earth. See, men, he will move mountains to get to you. So coming to see your parents will not be a big deal. It won't be a problem, my girls. Don't beg for it. Don't beg for him to come see your parents. Take your time and everything will fall into place. And that is if you were meant to be. If it was meant to be, even if what happens, he will always come to see your parent. And remember, if you've been nagging, if you've been nagging him for the past, like, maybe full year, for the past 6 months, you've been asking him to get serious and meet your people, and he's not showing any interest, hey, you've been asking him as well to do some important projects, and he's giving you all the excuses under the sun. My girl, then probably the man is not serious. You should find yourself someone who is serious and ready to settle with you. So, as you've said, if you've passed some, maybe even 4 months is enough to know if at all he's serious with you. And so, if he doesn't talk of future with you, then you're not in his picture, my girl. Carry on, oh. Go out there, present yourself, yo. There are a lot of men. God didn't create 12 men like disciples, you know. You will find your rib, oh, the man from which your rib was drawn from. So, the second point that you should never say to a man, you know, mark the term never. The second point that you should never say to a man is, I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you, you know. This statement, my girls, this statement is hurtful so much, you know. It can make a man feel like losing respect for the relationship, you know. He will start like losing, feeling like he doesn't have value for that relationship, you know. This is something that you may say in the midst of the argument, but this type of statement can ruin the relationship beyond repair. You know, my girls. Hmm? This statement, dare not. Just control yourself even if it is in the midst of argument. Cause you make it sound like the man is inadequate and he lacks something that men out there seems to have. And guess what? Hmm? Guess what, my ladies? We ladies, hey, we are so funny. Most of the times we feel tempted to say, hey, hey. I even fail how to explain this. My people, huh? Hey, okay, let me just say it. Most of the times we feel tempted to say this when we feel we are too good for the man, or the man is not in the in the class of men that that we would like to date, or the guy maybe doesn't have enough cash, you know, the cash flow is not enough, you know. Most of the ladies will like soft life, and if we see that there are so many other dudes out there that have money, the flow of money is better than our man, that is the time that we start saying the statement like, I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you. My girl, dare not. Just control your mouth, you know? Because once you tell him this, know that you've caused him the wound and the relationship might not get back to the way it was before. Mind you, men like to be respected, you know? And I hope this time round you are learning this so that you will develop self-control next time, you know? Because he would always, once you tell him a statement like that, you are wasting your time in that relationship, he would always doubt your loyalty, or he would feel that you may even eventually move on with other men, you know. You will make him feel insecure with you anymore. And so, even if you feel like you're wasting your time in that relationship, kindly you, I beg you, don't tell him. Don't tell him in that way, because it will hurt him and will make him feel less of a man. Okay. The third thing that you should never say to a man is the statement like, be a man or you should man up, you know. Where, my people, my girls, my ladies, these statements, hey, it hurts, oh, because you need to know that once you tell a man that, he'll feel like a boyish, he's like a boy, because you all know that men do cry, you know. Maybe not as frequently as we women do, But yes, they cry, they get emotional, and they get sad. That's the nature of all human beings, And when they do, they are not necessarily seeking for your sympathy or asking you to cry along with them. What they want is just for you to understand that whatever it is that made him to cry hurt so badly, and the only way he can vent out his emotion is by allowing those tears to drop. And so, in the midst of all that there is undergoing, you going and start telling him, like, be a man, you should be a man, you should man up. That will really hurt him. It will hurt him, you know, and it will hurt him beyond repair, by the way. So, my ladies, just find a way to comfort him. Give him a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, rather than telling him, like, be a man, you should man up. Because asking him to man up will terribly humiliate him. So, to him, it means that you are despising him and judging him as being weak in the moment of his vulnerability. Instead of you being there to encourage him, your man will feel like you are judging him and you are despising him. It will be, and so next time it will be very hard for him to trust you ever again, ever, with his emotions. Whenever he'll feel like he wants to cry, like he wants a shoulder to cry on, you will never be his priority, because first of all, you've judged him, and therefore he would man up indeed as the way you've told him, and he would lock up his heart. And so guess what? Guess what, my girls? So he will deny you the access to his real feelings, and in the worst case scenario, you know what will happen? He will walk into the arms of other women who, hey, my people, guess what? After walking to the arms of those women, that woman will dry his tears, comfort him, encourage him to express his feelings. And guess what? That is how your man will go. So what I want to tell you is that never tell a man who is expressing his vulnerability side to be a man or to man up. Hey, such statement coming from a woman, hey, this is a very, very sensitive thing to say. And so, my people, you know what? Never say that to a man. Despite the fact that you see that he is so weak, you will be bringing his masculinity into question, and that is not good. You'll be making him to doubt his ego as a man. Okay, my people, let's go to the fourth point. The fourth point that you should never say to a man is there are so many better men out there who want me. You know what, my people? A lot of ladies, we ladies, say this in their relationship, be it dating, be it courtship, be it marriage. And hey, my girls, once you tell, many of the ladies usually see this with the notion of hoping that their man will change. But guess what? Your man might not change. Huh? Most of the ladies hope that their men will change and put in more efforts into their relationship and do better, like in one way or another, to compete with other men out there. My people, don't do that. Don't say that to your man. This statement may make a man to feel insecure, and the more he hears this statement, he becomes fed up and stops making any effort at some point. And by the way, why should he make any effort, by the way? Huh? Because you remind him every now and then that there are many men that want you. By the way, why can't you go to those men? Why? Nothing, by the way, you need to know this. Nothing bothers a man like coming to realize that the woman he loves thinks he's not good enough for her. It's so much heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. As a lady, imagine what you'd feel if your man he is giving you the impression that he's just managing you, huh? That he can get a better girl just at a snap of his fingers. How would you feel, my people? Kindly don't say that statement. The fact that you think another guy is better than him is insulting enough. You are really corroding the relationship because you've already hurt his ego as a man, you know. You know, men have ego. And once you've hurt his ego as a man, and he may have a difficult time moving past his hurt, you know, there is not enough good reason to compare your man to another man. There is no any other reason. Even if he's short, even if he's tall, even if he's fat, you don't have any reason to compare himself to any other man. If you have any unmet need, or you feel like he isn't living up to your expectation, find a way to say it without giving the room for bitterness and misunderstanding. You know, my people. Yeah, you can find another way. So, my people, let's go to the fifth thing that you shall never say to a man. The fifth thing among the list is that you are not my type, you know. Hey, my girls, this is the statement that you're not supposed to tell a man, even if you know clearly that he's not your type. Kindly don't tell him that you're not my type. Because, first of all, when a guy asks you for out and you don't feel like you are compatible, like you have one reason or another, it's not bad to say no. It's okay, you know. But your manner of approach to a man's proposal, whether it's dating or marriage, it matters a lot, my people. Yeah, you need to know that it usually determines whether he should continue pursuing you, or like he should stop at that particular point, you know. Despite the fact that you feel that he's not, by the way, is not your type, be sure to treat him the way you should want him to treat you if the tables were turned. Whatever you choose to say, do, or try to turn down a man's advances without making him feel like he has no value, my people. My people. My people, don't tell a man that he's not your type. This really make him feel like, less of a man. Even if you feel infuriated for the man having like the guts to approach you, try to act calm. Don't give him that statement like, how dare you even consider somebody like me will be interested with somebody like you? And don't even say anything that may suggest that, my people. Always be positive, always be humble. Even if you feel that he's not your type, kindly just let him know in a positive way. Let him know it is a no and it is not possible, rather than saying that he's not your type, because that statement, it's really brings down men's ego. The sixth thing that you shall never say to a man is a statement like, all men are trash, you know. All men are trash. You're not supposed to say that, because if that was the case, then you need to rethink and evaluate the reason as to why you have one, you know. This is just but a phrase like women are scum. You know, a lot of women who usually say like all men are trash, they are using that statement because they have an experience of a certain kind of trauma because of what they have undergone. And we are not supposed to copy and paste whatever they said. You know, we are supposed to act differently, because out there are so many men. And don't say or don't tell any man that all men are trash, you know, because no man will be like to be called or identified with trash or dog because they are dirty things. Trash is something that is unuseful, and so once you identify him with trash, you mean like he is useless. How would you feel when a man you've just met says this woman is crazy or women are crazy? Would you have anything to do with him? Definitely no. It's really hard to have a connection with someone who already has a preconceived notion about you. So kindly don't use such statement, because men avoid women who generalize them, because they know they will be a very difficult task to convince her otherwise, as she would be always on the lookout to prove her self right. They see themselves as self-righteous, and so men will avoid such kind of women. They will try to keep themselves very, very far away from them. And so, to be on a safer side, avoid the statement like men are trash. So my ladies, we are going on very well. And so the seventh point among the things that you should never say to a man is the statement like, how dare you? How dare you? This is a very, very bad statement to use to a grown up man, because this is inappropriate to say to a man. You better use this statement to a teenager who has done something incredibly foolish, rather than using this statement to a full grown man, because when you tell him, how dare you, you are questioning his authority, and his ego will be actually threatened. It will be naturally threatened, my people. So kindly, to the man you love, to the man you respect, never use the statement as, how dare you. Better use phrases like, why did you do such a thing in place of dare you? Right, my people? Even if he is actually on the wrong and you'd like to apologize, asking him, how dare you, will put him on the defensive side, and he'll always find a reason to defend himself. So control your tonal voice. Don't yell at him or make him feel that he no longer has power, or make him feel like questioning his authority, my people. Don't ask him question like, how dare you? That makes it sound childish. It makes like someone will think like you are talking to a child rather than to a full grown man. So you need to be very, very careful about your statements. And so, my people, the eighth point that among the things that you should never say to a man is a statement like, you are not a man. Or a statement like, do you even consider yourself as a man? Or do you ever consider to be a man? When men are asked to stand, would you be up standing? Just imagine, my people. Hey, how dare you ask your man something like that? Kindly don't ask that, because it questions his authority. Like, he feels less of a man. No any man can stand this. This statement really degrades him. It degrades his masculinity. Remember, men hate it when their masculinity is being challenged. This brings down his ego, his confidence, and it questions his masculinity beyond repair. For example, telling him he is not good in bed. Just imagine, hey, you're not good in bed. Hey, that will hurt him. Oh, it will hurt him beyond repair. Kindly don't put him in a position where he feels that he has to prove his manhood to you. This is not pleasant at all. Kindly don't say that. Don't say that statement to your man, because he'll feel like, he will feel less of a man. His masculinity is being questioned, His ego will be brought down. Kindly don't do that. Don't do that, my people. Give him at least some words that will encourage him. It will boost his masculinity. It will boost his ego, you know. Don't tell him statements like, for example, for instance, if at all maybe he has lost his job, he has lost a certain deal, don't tell him like, go out there, look for food like other men, go out there, do what, some things like that, they really hurt. But instead of words like that, those among the things that we have said not to tell, not never to say to our men, you should replace them with statements like there are a lot of statements that like you should replace them with, you know. The solution not to say this hurtful statement is by watching your words careful. You should be very careful with your mouth, you know. Just control of everything about how you are talking, you know, and thinking before you speak, and not allowing your emotions to control you, my people, my ladies. Be very respectful. You are supposed to respect your husbands, you know. Even the Bible tells us that we should respect our husbands as, and you know, as we respect them, they should love us as Christ loved the church, you know. Practice self-control in order to be able to control any carelessness in your speech, my people. Make it to be your duty to respect your man, both in words and in deeds, you know. Learn to forgive quickly and overlook some things, my people. Forgive no matter what. Just forgive and forget. That is the key to a good relationship. And every time that you are angry, my people, understand that you are at the verge, and you understand that you are at the verge of having a breakdown, you know, my people. Be sure, if at all you are sure that it may involve you saying hurtful words, find a way to control your anger. You can even excuse yourself and leave his presence, you know. And once you want to engage in those, in that statement, be sure that you are fully under control. Once you leave his presence, engage in activities that will distract you. Play music, you know. You can read, you can eat. If you are a good eater, you can eat something that you like eating. You can eat like fruits, good meat, you know. You can even read good novels, good books. You can watch a nice movie, you know. You can dance, you can engage yourself in dancing if at all you love dancing. And this will at least make you forgive and forget. You can even go to a walk. You can walk for a long distance, you know, to avoid so many arguments for the sake of your relationship, and only revisit the issue when you have your temper under control, my people. Don't allow the sharpness of your words to ruin your something that is valuable, to ruin something that you've taken a lot of time to build. And above all, my people, be very prayerful, you know. Prayer is the key to a good relationship. Up to that point, my people, I hope that you found this helpful, and so kindly subscribe, like, and share. Bye bye. Let's meet in the next video.